Alright, hey guys, what's up? Before this even starts, I'm gonna let this be known right now. This video is not gonna be funny. Normally, all the stuff here, as you can tell if you're a regular, very brain rot, just stupid, the most just unhinged, not even remotely relevant topics, right? Literally, like a week ago, no, it's like is it the last video? I don't know, like a week ago I ranted about Oreos and called you an idiot if you like single stuff Oreos. The video I recorded right before this, which is going to go up after this video, I talk about an autistic kid saying he was going to kill himself at a club, at a school club after losing in Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, right? Just crazy. This is not going to be a funny video. If you do not want to watch that, totally understandable. This video is really just for me to, like, say everything, right? I don't care if no one watches this. This is just for me to get all this out. So, come back with me to Mother's Day. We had the party at my house, and I don't remember if this is like the first one we've had in a while. If we had one last year, I don't know, but the party is at my house. And either my grandma was saying she either didn't feel good, or my mom and like her siblings noticed something just looked off about my grandma. I don't remember what it was, but all I know is at the party they were like, you have to go to the doctor, right? Just to get checked out. My grandma was one of those people that she'd never go to a doctor, right? I genuinely think the last time she went to a doctor before this was at least like 10 years ago, right? She was one of those people that like every morning she'd take like 30 multivitamins, like fish oil pills, a bunch of supplements. She was one of those people, right? And to her credit, she was 80 years old. She was very healthy, right? Like every single summer for the last like 7 years, I do her yard work, right? I come by like once or twice a month. I'd be out there. It'd be like 100 degrees. She would just come out in like her dirty little like yard work shoes, a pair of jean shorts and a short sleeve shirt, and just start pulling out weeds, right? By herself. Didn't need me to help. She'd get angry if I told her to like go inside, right? She was very active for her age. So they tell her she has to go to the doctor. I don't think she did. And then like the next day, I don't remember if she called my mom or one of my aunts. Somehow we just found out her neck was just swollen, right? In the span of like 3 days, her neck went from looking like moderately fine to just like huge. And like no one knew why. So finally she went to the doctor and they found out that she had Hodgkin's lymphoma, which is a form of cancer, right? However, I'm going to say this now. Obviously cancer is bad. And she was 80 years old. But at her age, let's say she was gonna live to like late 80s, maybe even 90s, right? With the treatment, she still probably would have lived there and not even have died to the cancer in the first place, right? She would have lived like a pretty much a normal life. Nothing would have changed outside of going occasionally for cancer treatments and taking some medication. It's not like this was instantly life-threatening, right? But for some reason, the second she got diagnosed with the cancer, she almost like shut down. Like I'm talking, we would go to the doctors, right? Like one of the days I had to I had to help my aunt because for some reason the second after she got diagnosed, my grandma could not walk on her own. She didn't eat any food. She always had dementia, right? And to be fair, it had been getting worse in the last few years. But the second after she got diagnosed and she found out, her dementia went from like a 4 to like a 27, right? Like you could talk to her mid-conversation, she'd forget something and ask you like what's going on, right? And like I would go to her. Like one day I had to help my aunt. I took her to 2 doctor's offices, right? I had to carry her, I had to take her in and out of the wheelchair. I had to push her around in a wheelchair, right? When we got to the cancer doctor literally said, "This doesn't make any sense. You were fine a week ago." Like the cancer itself really like didn't make any sense what was happening to her, right? It's almost like the second she found out that she had cancer, she just immediately shut down, right? She had no intention of trying to beat it. Apparently my mom said because I'm going to be honest, I did not see her that often. Since this happened, I think I went over to her house and saw her like maybe 5 times. And my mom was saying in the last like week or two, with her dementia, she kept talking about going to see her husband, right? And my grandpa died back in 2012. And I genuinely do not think, when he died, I do not think either my grandma or my mom and her siblings really ever got over it, right? It's been over 12 years. There has been a lot of drama in the past 12 years that I really do think has what's it called? Stemmed from this, from my grandpa dying. I don't think anyone ever got over it. So, like, I don't know. Anyways, she's in the hospital. She gets a surgery. Now we're going back. She gets a surgery. She gets the lymph nodes out. She's very, like, dreary. She goes to her... No, first, after she got the stuff cut out of her neck, the hospital let her sign herself out. Why would the hospital let her sign... Even then, she wasn't really coherent. She couldn't speak, but they let her sign herself out of the hospital. So I don't know how she got home, but she did. And then my mom and her two sisters, right? Because my uncle lives far away, and then my mom's oldest sister, there was like this drama thing that happened. She kind of got cut out of our lives, but with this, she's come back in, and now I think everyone's on like decent terms again. Initially, it was my mom and her two sisters that were taking shifts. Then my older aunt also stepped in, and then it was like the four of them. They'd sleep there every night. And that lasted for about maybe a week or two until my grandma had to go back to the hospital for something. No, it's because she wasn't eating. This entire time, she said she wasn't hungry, and she would not eat any food. So after this time she went to the hospital, my mom and her siblings decided, okay, we're gonna get a stay-at-home nurse. So the stay-at-home nurse is there for like a week. She's there Monday through Friday. She didn't work the weekend, so my mom and her sisters once again had to step in. My aunt slept there. That Saturday, my aunt had to take my grandma back to the hospital because she wasn't eating anything again, right? Her fluids were low. And, like, they went there, and even at the hospital, they said, like, the cancer is not doing anything to her body, right? Like, everything that's happening to her is not really related to the cancer at all. Or that's what, like, they thought. Like, I don't know. Maybe it was, and it just wasn't diagnosed the right way. But it seemed like the cancer itself was doing nothing. So they decide, okay, we're gonna check her into, like, it wasn't a home, but it's kind of like, I guess, like, almost like an elderly hospital. It was just some place that they were like, she's just gonna stay there till she dies, right? There's people there that'll give her, like, fluids. Because at this point, right, whatever happened, she did not have that much time left. It's almost like her mind was just like, okay, it's over. And she was there for about 2 days. And then last Tuesday, at nighttime, she just died, right? She passed away. And I've been thinking about this for the last, like, 2 days. And as the days have gone by, because today's Friday, so she died Tuesday. I've had Wednesday and Thursday to think about this, now it's Friday. There is just a small part of me that is kind of a little angry. Because, like I said, right? Physically, she was fine, and I understand cancer is cancer, but genuinely, with everything that happened, it actually seems like the second my grandma found out she had cancer, she just immediately gave up on everything and did not even want to try to fight it at all. Which, sure, that's entirely in her right to do so. Just because we're all alive, right, it does not mean that she needs to, like, suffer for anything, right? Maybe her dementia did really kick off and just go crazy. Maybe something genuinely out of our control that we'll never know about happened behind the scenes, right? Within her body that shut her down. Maybe she wanted to, but the second she found out she had cancer, her body, like, instinctively against her will was like, oh, okay. It's been 80 long years. Maybe since my grandpa died, just as the years have been going by, and her body was getting weaker, her mind was getting weaker, the second she found out about this, she was like, okay, it's over. And I'm... whatever, right? There's nothing I can do about it. What I want, what I wish happened, it doesn't matter. Everything played out the way it did. But there is just a part of me that is a little angry. That she just did not even, like, try, right? Like, I'm not saying I wish that she sat here and, like, suffered for us, right? That's not what I'm saying. But everything would have been fine. I don't know. I don't know. I think also, you know, the anger from this is really just because, like, I don't think everything's set, like, nothing is sat in yet, right? Like, nothing, it doesn't feel real yet. The funeral is on Sunday. The funeral's on Monday. This should go live on Sunday, which means the wake is there. I genuinely feel everything I'm feeling right now, the second I walk into the funeral home and I just see her in the casket, everything, I'm gonna stop, it's like, it's gonna hit me, right? And everything I'm feeling now, the anger, it's gonna go away. But there's just a part of me that wishes that maybe she tried a little harder for us, right? Because she had 5 children, 10 grandkids. We're all still here. And I don't know if, like, the loss of my grandpa really was that impact. I mean, they were together for, like, 50 years, right? Maybe that really did impact her a lot. Maybe she was just old and she was like, I don't want to do this anymore. And to that, I can't be angry. Because ultimately, it's her life, right? She lived it the way she chose to live it. I can't control that. And I can't really wish anything else happened, right? But I really do wish that maybe she just... she was still here, right? She should not have died as soon as she did. There is... There was no reason for her to die as fast as she did. And I don't know. If you made it this far, I guess thank you for listening to my, like, rambled thoughts. I'm just gonna go now. Goodbye.